Okay. So conscious healthy aging, caring for your body, mind, and spirit, bringing it all together, considering bringing it all together to sustaining our reason for being. And say why we care for our body, mind, and spirit is to sustain our reason for being. And we looked at aging confidently with joy. So acknowledging our reason, your reason for being, and then seeing what it takes to align with our reason for being. So filling in that and cultivating that, along with establishing habits of health, ultimately to play our part with others, having a sense of belonging. And let's see if I can get this out of the way here. Okay, I don't know if you can see this here. Sustaining our purpose in life, a purposeful life. And then when vision gets cloudy, so just going back to that for a second here, sustaining a purposeful life. This is what we've been going over for the past few months, the aspects, the structural spine of conscious healthy aging that we've come to so far. But you can say when things get cloudy, when you can say there's shift points happening, when you can say we may need to use that messenger RNA process, but maybe we forget even to use that, where we may have a sensing of a void. You can say in the cycles of change, there's rhythms to them. And in certain, you can say lull points, there can be a sensing of a void, and that can have it articulated through our hearts mentally that we might feel discouraged. And those times, it's simply to recognize shift points as an opportunity for something greater to be known, and simply to give thanks for that particular phase in the cycle. So, this has been described too, when these shift points is like moving through the abyss of nothingness. But what do we do when we feel that? Partly is things may not matter like they used to us. And then it's time to empty out of old controls that no longer fit in the continuing cycles of things. You can say when we're children and we're adolescents and we're adults, we recognize certain things that need to be let go of. And then it's a time to make no decisions and be still. It's not a time to quit your job or make a drastic decision. It's a time just to be still and let clarity and direction come. And then we'll rise to, you can say, a sensing of epiphany, where we have a greater realization. We're at a peak. You can say we feel a peak of, wow, I realize this. Wow, things are really working out. And we give thanks for that. But we recognize too, a friend of mine used to say that the peaks are greased, where if we kind of hold on to that epiphany without moving in further cycles, you can say we can be taken out. We may take ourselves out of those cycles. We may get too full of ourselves. So it's a care to have that in mind. So we continue in the refining processes of life. We continue, we can say, the fires of life, of greater clarification, greater epiphanies, greater integration. And there's a sensing that there's always more. So way back here, when we had this epiphany, we may get stuck on that and say, well, I had that realization back then, but we have to recognize there's always more. There's always more to realize. There's always more to play our part with. So continuing in the ascending cycles of life. Conscious healthy aging. So we've been focusing on conscious health, healthy aging. And it's not about anti-aging. It's about embracing living with presence, confidence, and joy. Aging. Way back when, in the promotion of this work, I came across the definition, an ancient definition or translation of the word aging. And that word, aging, related to vital force. And I remember a friend of mine saying, I don't really want to be in a class talking about aging, but actually reframe our thought of aging to actually vital force. As we do age, we actually begin to have an emanation of a greater vital force, where we have a vitality consciousness experience. And I use the example of Sebastian Bach, where He accepted no insults. He had no grievances against man or fate. Earnest, simple, he filled his days with useful effort. Isn't that beautiful? He accepted no insults, no grievances. He accumulated no grudges, but he filled his days with useful effort. Okay. Okay, so let's have a meditation accordingly here. So hands over heart, if you like, let's upright ourselves. Begin to breathe in slow, and breathe out slower. Giving thanks for this moment. Breathing in slow and out slower. Giving thanks for this moment, for the opportunities of this moment, embracing that. And breathing in slow and out slower. Giving thanks for being alive in this day, having our epiphanies, our realizations, our integration, and our joy. The joy of being present, alive. Alive and open for the light that we are to come through our hearts, into our minds, and through our bodies. That the emanation of ourselves may influence for the world, for what we've come for, to bring light into this world in an integrative way. I love the idea, not the idea, but in essence, for this earth to become a sun at some point, because we're playing our part now in the cycles of eternity, playing our part, establishing the lines of radiance between each other, and planting the seeds for them to continue after we're here. Here's our conscious realization of vitality in our consciousness. Breathing in slow and out slower, and feeling the feeling of that, the invigoration of that. Giving joy for that, giving thanks for that. So as we continue in this way, let's continue along in this evening and in our lives, that we may again spread the light individually, but together, playing our part. Again, one more time, breathing out, enjoying this moment. Let's continue on.